Start with Why by Simon Sinek. What good is an idea if it can't be shared? Our motivations are different, but they all point to more or less the same destination. Level-headed. What keeps me level-headed, showing up and sharing the ideas that I have. I was in 7th grade when I was given a project in art to draw an item of my choice. Within the drawing, I shall include a texture with what was related to that item. I chose to draw a pair of basketball shoes. I had printed a texture of a basketball onto the image using graphite from pencil lead. A bit of background behind my inspiration to draw the basketball shoes. When I buy a pair of basketball shoes, I'm always obsessed with having the best grip that the shoe can have on the court. The reason I remember this project so clearly is that it was a deep understanding to who I am. Basketball was what I spent most of my time playing from a young age to an early adult, and the connection of my passion for it was congruent with the art drawing. It is important as we get older not to let go of our imaginative and inventively spirited part of our soul, to use creativity as fuel for our spirits, expanding our minds, allowing us to be more inquisitive, more attuned to novelty. When I was a high schooler, I would go to the gym after I'd taken care of any homework. If there was any, then I'd get the canvas out. I'd draw, and I wanted to draw, and I'd fill the color with paint that would be on the image. That would be an object, that would be a design, or that would be a splatter followed by various strokes of color, dried and painted over again and again until I was either done or I was out of paint. The value of the art was low. We are taught to measure worth in metrics, net worth, likes, followers. Why do people spend money on art, on basketball shoes, on designer brands in the first place? Is it because the piece of art will correspond with the theme of their home? Is it because the collector is a complicated individual themselves? Art pieces will rise in value like the stocks is because the character behind the canvas is someone to be admired, inspired by, related to. Who the character is behind the canvas doesn't itself define the price. What defines the price is the balance between the hero and the villain. In an act of observation, everything about the artist leading up to that display of the art is who that character is. The hero from the villain is not letting any force of adversity or trauma turn the artist on their back to be the villain that is victimized. For example, I log into my laptop one day and I plug in my external hard drive. It contains hard work of music creation, and the video prior to this one and the one before that I had also lost my graphic design and my fashion design from another hard drive. My laptop had to be connected to a power supply at all times in order to be powered because it was from 2013. But you learn to get sophisticated enough in how to maintain things such as power surges, USB hubs, and direct connections to the device, and preventing power outages in 8 hours plus on a day off with all the lights on. Power outages happen, and that in turn would fry an external hard drive over time through the electrical source. And then you have to take into consideration how the old electrical system might be. There are chances that it might be over 50 years old, and you might not be getting the proper maintenance through the support of high demand rent in the full house. Everyone is challenged with things that might cause them to be discouraged. A glimpse of the artist may be perceived through the art. Even then, that can't define the artist as a hero or as a villain. They can only be judged by the observer's opinion of the art. Either you're a minimalist who has a subtle taste for shades, perspective, and object placement, or you're a maximalist who speaks stories into existence through the abstract. Learn about yourself, study your ethnicity, study your town, your experience, and to extract pieces of that to tell a larger narrative through your art. And we share our ideas, not to be measured by the approval, but by the authenticity and the resilience behind it. Living your why, we live to the extent that we are in balance with who we are, reshaping the value of brand character over the market's popular consumerism. We are not just consumers, we are regulators of taste and curators of meaning.